Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to talk about another Arceus deck. The Arceus is on the rise again. These things go through phases, right? Arceus, but even when it's not gotten attention, it has been good. So taking a look into the Arceus deck myself, because it's obviously super versatile. And today, Arceus Leafeon Vstar. Leafeon Vstar is one of the first V-Star Pokemon that came out, I believe. It came out as a promo in a special product, like a tin or something. And what it is, obviously it's the V-Star. So an evolution Pokemon, 260 HP, a little low there. Grass, but it's grass type, which is super good now, hitting the Charizard Dark Charizard EX for weakness, and one-shotting it with Leaf Guard for 3 energies. Grass, colorless. Leaf Guard does 180 damage, and then during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. Now, part of why Leafeon Vstar dropped off is Gudra Vstar is almost directly better in almost every way. It's got more HP, its attack does more damage, its damage reduction is greater. Now, of course, this Dragon takes 2 different types of energy, and the V-Star power is different. I'll get to that on Leafeon, because it does have a very nice V-Star power. So Leafeon Vstar's dropped off a lot, but it does one-shot Charizard EX, and it is very solid still anyway, and it does have a very nice V-Star power, IV-Star ability. During your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon, so very good. It's an Arceus deck, though, so most of the time we're going to use Arceus's V-Star power to set up, but if we can hold off on that, a free boss without using the supporter later in the game is a very nice option to have for sure. Sorry about that. I tried to mute the cough. I was fully successful. All right, so that's the V-Star. The V is also very useful. This is an earlier V, I do believe. This one has the Greening Cells ability, which is quite nice as well. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a grass energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Shuffle your deck. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So turn 1, we're not attacking generally, so we accelerate the energy with Leafeon V. And if we go first, we're obviously not attacking, and then we do want to go first whenever possible. So Leafeon V's ability is quite nice there as well. All right, we know Arceus Vstar, right? Trinity Nova, 200 damage for 3. Accelerate 3 energy, so you can set up another Arceus or your Leafeon Vstar, depending what you want to be doing. Starburst, search your deck. Ready 2 cards once over the course of the game. Super good. We all know it and hopefully love it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. And then Trinity Charge on the V for 1 DTE. Accelerate 3 basic energies to your V's name what you like. Very good there. Right. So what are we pairing this with? Going with a straightforward Bibarel Skwovet engine. Skwovet Nest Dash. Right. Shuffle your hand. Bottom of the deck. Draw 1 card. And then Bibarel, you want to Skwovet first, then play Bibarel, then use Bibarel, and you draw till you have 5 cards on hand. So a way to start your turn, play the cards you want, get rid of them, the rest of the cards with Skwovet, and get up to a fresh 5 with Bibarel. What else do we have? We play 1 Radiant Greninja just to get a bit of draw. I'm not sure how much value that's going to give the deck, I got to say. But it's in the list. I tweaked the list a little bit, but leaving a lot of it the same. So keeping Radiant Greninja, and obviously does help set up early on. And we do play Raihan as well, so it can get that energy in the discard for Raihan if you get knocked out. Lumineon V is also very nice. Luminous Signs, search your deck for any 1 supporter when you play it. So it's just a tech support Pokemon. We cannot attack with it. Our energy count is 8 grass, 4 DTE, right? DTE for Arceus, and the 8 grass to accelerate with Arceus's attacks. All right, as I said, in getting the trainers here, play 1 Raihan. Basic energies in the deck, so I think Raihan just super good here. 3 Judge, we want to disrupt often, right? Because we're disrupting's just very good as long as your deck's consistent enough. And once we get going, we are very consistent. 3 Bosses Order, that's a good high boss count, but super nice card. 3 Professor's Research, good early on. Obviously, be aware of what you're discarding. There is no Pokemon recovery this deck, so just tread with caution when there might be times that research just can't be done. One Cheren's Care, right? Really good with Arceus. Just one copy because we're not leaning into it, but one copy. Put a colorless Pokemon with damage counters onto it into your hand along with all cards attached. Probably an Arceus that's attacked and been damaged. But also, if our opponent's sprinkling damage around on like a Bibarel or a Skwovet, we can essentially scoop it up as well and replay it down. One Iono, Disruption. One Avery. That it's good for some matchups, right? You draw 3 cards, which is always nice. And then your opponent discards their Pokemon from the bench until they're down to 3, and that is difficult and troublesome for some decks. 4 Ultra Ball, we got to get those V-Stars and the Bibarels down, so we need something to search those out. 4 Nest Balls, right? Get those basics down. 4 Great Ball. I'm trying out Great Ball. The other way to go, I think, is Capturing Aroma. Capturing Aroma, you flip a coin. You're guaranteed to get a Pokemon, which we're not with Great Ball, but you lose. But you don't get to choose whether it's a basic or an evolution. Since at times we need a basic, there's times we definitely need an evolution. I like Great Ball because while we don't know what we're going to hit, if it's as long as the Pokemon are there, we can get it. So I think it gets better access to the evolutions, especially like when you need on turn 2 an Arceus VSTAR. I think I like Great Ball better than relying on the coin toss of Capturing Aroma. 2 escape ropes, not rather than a switch rope, just 2 ropes here. 2 paths to the peak. Shutting down abilities, obviously super important against a number of decks, really causes trouble. Then included 1 Collapsed Stadium. Want this as a bump to path with our opponent if we need to use our V-Star power. Also, Lumineon V gets shut down. Also, Radiant Greninja gets shut down by path, so a bump to path is good. And Collapsed Stadium, you go from 5 to 4 on the bench. We have the support Pokemon. There's a decent chance to have a full bench, so we can get rid of that Lumineon V or a damaged Arceus or something that we want to get out of play with Collapsed Stadium too. So it's a bit of a defensive card as well as helping use our abilities to set up. So that's the list that, as I've put it together, let's take a look and see what we can get it to do. All right, here we go. Calling heads. Obviously, would love to go first here. But if not, and I probably go second, but that's okay, right? Next goes second as well. You don't always get to go what you want, so it's nice to show off what happens with that too. I am a bit frustrated now. I just thought I was recording, and I had 2 perfect. I thought I sat there and record. Had 2 perfect games. The deck did exactly what I wanted to do. Both games, and they were different games. They went differently, but both went ideally, and it just a complete failure there. Very disappointing that I wasn't recording because those were ideal videos to show off the deck. The deck just set up, went once first, the one game went second, the other game. Oh, that's not a good mulligan. So up against Mew, this is not the matchup I want, I will say. Not at all. They're setting up, yeah, it's not good. They need to thin their hand some, of course. Fog Crystal, so they'll get the Mew down. So that means they play basic Psychic Energy, I assume, right? Because Fog Crystal does give you access to basic energy. So I assume they play basic Psychic Energy. So maybe it's a DT. I wonder if it's DTE with Psychic Energy. So they did the switch. Now, they switched into the Genesect. That's interesting, I will say. So Leafeon V's not bad. I'm going to judge. I could Ultra Ball. I need to get Arceus down. Not terrible. Not terrible. All right, so what do I do here? I get down on Arceus so I can accelerate to him. I will toss down another Bidoof. I will accelerate to Arceus. I'm not going to bench the other Leafeon at this point. I might want it down next turn, but we'll see. I have the V-Star, so it's not a bad hand. 2 cards, it's not a bad hand. Could be, if it was like Arceus and Bibarel, that would be even better, of course, but it's still quite good. All right, so I'm gonna take damage counter. Well, as long as I evolve first, I don't take damage. Of course, when I accelerate with my V or V-Star, I don't take damage. So, I don't know what they grabbed. There's a few different things. Obviously, I'm not. All right, Judge. It was a nice. Having the V-Star was good. So let's see. It's not as good. Not as good. I mean, yeah, that this is a concern. See what happens here. I might end up Skwoveting. Oh, well, no, I can use Radiant Greninja, I guess, to get 2 cards. Well, all right, well, that's, okay. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to, I think I want a Radiant Greninja. I mean, I could Lumineon V. I don't think I want to give that 2-price target to my opponent in this game, though, right? I don't think I do. So I'm going to Radiant Greninja away an energy. Let's see what I hit here, and then I may play Path. Okay, so the V-Star, that's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna get a rope and get a. Yeah, I'm gonna get a rope. So they have the Oricorio, so I'm gonna have a really tough time getting through them, right? So I don't need the energy. So rope, and I want the barrel. Okay. Because I have the energy, so play the rope first before they know exactly what I have going on. That's not a shock there. They obviously can't be shocked by that play on my part either. So play the Path, which obviously could be very disruptive to them, for sure. Play the Leafeon Vstar. See what I draw into. All right, I could. Let me Great Ball first. I think. What do I want to attack with? Do I want to be? I think I want another Arceus V, right? I think Arceus V is what I want with this game. So I'm going to bench him. And I'm going to start powering up. Let me think. I can. No, I don't. With the Oricorio in play, I don't one-shot anything. So maybe the Leafeon is slightly tankier, right? Slightly tankier. So I'm going to put all my energy on the Leafeon. And so I'm not even one-shotting. Even without a DTE, I'm not one-shotting the Genesect V. That Oricorio is going to be very troublesome for me. So good for my opponent, of course. It's nice to see cards working out for my opponent's deck. Not always not great for me, but I'm pleased for my opponent that's good, right? The Oricorio is interesting. It changes the math, and this is a matchup where it helps them a number of ways, right? If they didn't have the Oricorio in play, I would have accelerated the Arceus V, because then I could one-shot a Genesect V with my Arceus without any DTE. The V-Star, of course, I would have to evolve. So assuming they don't knock me out, which they probably... Okay, they all right. Oh, cross switcher. Well, that's probably going to make me unhappy. Probably going to make me unhappy. So they're going to. I think they have DTE though. I think they don't get the knockout. Now I can't. So they don't get the knockout. And I do have Cheren's Care, so I think I just kind of scoop him up. I will just scoop him up, and I will hit into him. I think with the Leafeon, well, that's a good question. Which way do I go here, right? Which way do I go here? So Cheren's Care. I think I want to power up the next Arceus, right? I kind of like this hand, right? I think I will just Bibarel for 1. Okay, I'm going to Bibarel for another one is all I'm going to do here, because why not? Both bosses. Now that's kind of unfortunate, I will say, getting both bosses into deck. So down to 160, right? But that's enough to two-shot. It's still enough to two-shot. So that's okay. So the game is, I should have looked at my deck a little more, actually, when I did that, right? But, so that's, look, the deck is working. It's set up. I got off my V-Star power. Have Path sticking to Path in the deck, of course, very good for this. They can't use the Genesect. They don't have another Mew down. So if they can't disrupt me, I can finish off the Mew next turn, which will pretty much crush them, I would think. They do okay, so they can attack with Meloetta as well, attaching to Genesect. Okay, so they're just playing a stall turn. Ooh, so I need to. Okay, so that's a problem in that I can't. So I have Boss, but I need the switch card, right? So let me. I think I want to keep all these other cards, right? I don't want any of these cards because they don't get me where I need to go. So I have one rope in 21 cards, and I have. I mean, I could have thinned more. I could have used 2 Ultra Balls, right? So there we go. So that kind of gives me game, right? So I think I want to retreat into Leafeon V. No, I need to do one. Oh, I just need to do 150, right? And he does. Yeah, he'll finish him off. So that's okay. And then the Leafeon is slightly tankier. And I will draw some cards while I'm at it. And, okay, liking this for sure. And finish them off there. So that's very nice. So 3 prizes, halfway to victory there. My opponent doesn't have an attacker set up, really. Right? They could get, Genesect V, they need to get 2 Fusion Strikes and another one. So they're preparing to attack with the Genesect directly. I have Boss here, so this probably gets to concede, I got to say, right? Because, hey, they got nothing at all. So just doing 130, but 130 because they resist me too, right? But they were damaged already, so 1 prize away from the win. Actually, and I do have a 3rd boss in deck too, right? Let me see what's been discarded. Yeah, so they have a 3rd boss probably in deck. I haven't paid as much attention as I should. So I don't one-shot anything. If I do hit boss, what do I want to do here? Do I want to judge? It's obviously a crazy strong hand. I think I want to. I'm going to Avery here. See if I can get boss for next turn, right? That's what I'm thinking about there. So I will attack. So we'll see what happens. That Oricorio is causing trouble, right? Without the Oricorio, I should have gotten. I forgot that I need to get I need to evolve my Arceus. So that was very bad on my part. Should have paid attention to things. So they're thinning is part of what they're doing. Let's see what happens here. They can retreat because they have the DTE, but at this point, stalling is they're in a lot of trouble. They need to get going positively. So let's see what they do. Can they attack this turn? Perhaps. Energy mix. So, okay. So I can knock them out with my Arceus Vstar, or he does 160, or boss gets me game 2, right? So I will just boss up the Oricorio and have the knockout there. Okay, hit the boss, so that made life easier. I should have evolved that Arceus V prior to that turn. That was just my not paying attention to the game. Haven't gotten a lot of value of the Great Ball, so perhaps that's a mistake. Perhaps the one list I was looking at, they played Capturing Aroma. I just don't enjoy Capturing Aroma, I got to say, so I didn't put it in. But there goes the deck. It was a bit slow. Path, very effective. Arceus, it sets up, abilities get your pieces in play, and then it powers things up, and you're good to go most of the time with the deck. All right, we will see what happens here. Call heads, and hopefully we get off to a nice fast start. I've had 2 games up against Charizard decks, by the way. Right now I have none to show. The first game went exactly the way you'd want to, except I forgot to hit record, so that wasn't good. And then the second game, I was recording, except I had one significant problem, is both of my Leafeon Vs were prized, which really threw things off track a lot, right? And the odds of, I'm not playing one. If there's one getting prized, you certainly expect to happen a decent amount. With 2, it should not be very common that both get prized. So let's see what we're up against. So I can't get a V down this turn. So, all right, I'm just going to make that play. It's not terrible. I probably research this turn. Probably play down the Radiant Greninja and research, I would think. I'll lose the Raihan. I lose the Avery. Avery's, a disruption card, and they're okay probably with my playing Avery. So I'm not so concerned about that. It's the, so they don't knock me out next turn. 180. Well, they can knock me out with a Defiance Band next turn. That part is true, right? So let's see. All right, I have Leafeon V in deck. I obviously would have liked him last turn. I could have accelerated as well. I'll bench him, and I will do that. I need to get... that's not what I wanted at all. Okay, so I'm going to discard. I don't have Raihan, so discarding these energies isn't as good as I would have liked. And make that play. It's not terrible, though, right? I set up my Leafeon Vstar for next turn, assuming my hand stays the same. So that part's not bad. What's my... Okay, so... And I have Vstar in hand. I really need to get 2 Leafeon Vstars to attack with, though, right? That's what needs to happen here. They probably... I could be in a lot of trouble here, though. Okay, so they're not going to knock me out. Now, it is scary because he... the fire one... Obviously, my Leafeon V is weak to fire, so... but I finish him off. I just need one attachment. I knock him out next turn. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Odd, I will say. Let's see what happens. Give me, well, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not good, though. It's not good. Going slow. Look, by path sticking him around, so I'm going to need, so it's 2... What do I have in the discard pile, by the way? Okay, so go back. I have to accelerate both of these to here. I need 3 energy to attack with, right? 3. It's 2. For the V-Star, you need 2 grass and 1 colorless. So that means I have to attach at this point a DT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, one's in the discard pile, and I got rid of Raihan, so I don't have any way to get back that energy. So the Leafeon V cannot one-shot a Charizard EX. That's unfortunate, for sure. Okay, so attach. All right, well, that's a good turn for them. They're going to knock me out. I do get the counter knockout, though. But then let's think, do they knock me out 180? I don't think they do, right? So I think I have knockout, and See what happens next turn, right? That's kind of the question, too. A DTE. Do I want to... I think I should attach the DTE. I know it gives away my limitation here, but it is what it is, right? I don't really have a choice. I mean, I have a choice, but I don't think I have a better choice. So boom, one-shotting with the Leafeon Vstar, so that's good. So tying up on prizes, right? They took the prize lead, though. Okay, that's good. Bibarel, the 2 research is good. They can't knock me out, which is really good. Now that my secondary Leafeon cannot one-shot them. Oh, Entei. Entei's scary. So Entei's very, very scary, right? Because they just blow me up. So let's see what happens. I have the path in play, which means they can't get 2 energies down. Obviously, they could get Moltres down and attach, and then they need a switching card. They don't knock me out, though. Arvin gets a tool, right, and an item. So they can't get a stadium. Wonder what they play here. Probably, so Pokemon Search, that makes sense. Oh, that... Okay, that's interesting. So now I need another Arceus, right? So the Entei really throws things off. And actually, that tool, I think, messes with me a lot as well. Now, they can't power up their Entei. That's the good news. Unless they can bump the stadium, which I'm guessing they can't. We'll find out in a moment. They have to play the stadium before they evolve the Charizard, obviously. So Rocky Helmet. Okay, Rocky Helmet on the Entei, though. Okay. So what are they going to do here? That puts 2 damage counters on me. The thing is, they don't one-shot me, even if they evolve, right? I don't believe they do. And I one-shot them. So that's really good, actually. That's very good. Yeah, they definitely don't one-shot my active Leafeon. And I take them out. So this is tricky. This is actually pretty tricky here. But I think I'm in decent shape. Bump my mic. I am sorry about that. Let me play him down. Obviously, these are very nice cards, so I'm going to one-shot him. I guess that was right, not attaching to the... I think I do want Arceus, right? I don't draw any cards, though, right? I don't think... I mean, I could rope just to, like, get rid of cards, but I think I just attack this turn. I think I want to sit on the ball. I think I sit on this hand. That's what I'm thinking I do. I'm a lot uncertain is what I'll say. A lot uncertain. This could come down to... No, I don't think we're at that point. I'm wondering if it could come down to sudden death. If we both knock each other out, all right, that's a really nice pull for sure. What's my energy situation? I know I'm out of... Okay, so I have 2 more DTEs around. So, and I have rope, so that means I can use rope and not use boss. Oh, I haven't used my V-Star power. Oh, and no one can use V-Star power because we are both stuck there. So he's going to blow me up. That tool has disappeared, a little live glitch there. Yeah. It's become this white blank spot. Whatever, right? So they're going to attack. They're going to knock me out. What do I want to do? I can't attack with Leafeon or I lose, right? I think I send up Radiant Greninja, probably. Yeah, I set up Radiant Greninja. That does not lose me game, of course, if he gets knocked out. I don't think I want to rope. All right, so I toss. I accelerate energy here because that's part of what I have to make happen. I have him. I think I Skwovet Bibarel here, right? I need to get that Arceus set powered up. That's what needs to happen here. So I will use him first. All right, good. Got the V-Star. That's very nice. Play him down. I need to get the Leafeon Vstar also, right? Which I did not. Okay, got energy. Iono's a nice option, too. I might want to do that. I don't want that. I haven't paid attention to whether my other V-Star is prized or not. I think I want to Iono at this point. I'm pretty sure they knock out my active. I've got to... All right, that's good. That's very good, right? So, boss, that's a good turn. End turn there. Okay. They will one-shot my Leafeon V. If they have boss, they have game. I'm pretty sure, right? 4, 5. So they're drawing a card. 1, 2, 4, 5. We'll see what they do. Okay. So accelerating there. This is tricky here. This is tricky here. This might be a turn for my boss. They're down to 1 card in deck, though, right? I mean, they have 1 card in hand, so I can't knock them out. If they didn't get that Charizard down, they didn't have knockout. I need to send up, I'm pretty sure I sent up the Arceus. He's the one Pokemon that doesn't get one shot, which, of course, gives them game. So I have Rope. Do I want Rope for something? I don't think I do, right? I think at this point actually Rope, no. Let's see what I draw into. I do have my V-Star powers as well, right? So I have both V-Star powers actually, right? So I need so I think I need energy, right? I think I need energy. So I'm going to make that play. It's a bit of an odd one. All right, I got energy. That's what I wanted there. So I haven't used my V for, so okay, so I'm in good, so they need boss, they need a bunch of pieces this turn. So I have game on board here, right? 20. Now, if they get me to 260, I hit into my active, I lose the game. I can just retreat though, right? So boss, they blow up my Leafeon V. I'm pretty certain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They might actually be slightly short, actually, at the moment. So we'll see what happens. I don't have research now, though, right? I do have Rope. They're really going all in here. So they have a lot of fire attackers, right? So they, the fact that they went with the Charizard EX probably, if they lose the game, that will have cost them the game. Let's see what happens here. So they got him out of harm's way. I need to. Well, I haven't used my V-Star power, right? So I just have game now. So now Leafeon V comes through with its other way, right? It's V-Star power, which I have boss as well. But why don't I just do this? Use my V-Star power. To show off use the Leafeon in this matchup, right? A little more. And 160. Blow you up. You do some damage to me. But that's okay, right? I take 20 damage because of the mystery tool, right? Since it wouldn't show me, since it glitched there. So there we go, up against the Charizard deck. And while the Leafeon didn't give me the value of some, and this was a matchup where the Leafeon showed the plus and the minus because it was a Charizard Entei Arcanine deck it was a fire heavy deck. The Charizard was there to attack with, but also just to power up the other Pokemon, but still works. So Arceus, Leafeon, look, Arceus very strong in the past, strong now, and Leafeon a good option. And like you saw in the last game, saving that V-Star power Ivysaur is a nice option when you can hold off on that. So encourage you, give it a try. Don't forget what was one of the earliest V-Stars, Leafeon. It's still strong today. Take care.